February 4th, 2022. I'm watching, this brings up such, I'm watching Seven, right? This is the local, non-metrical part of the time system. And on comes this spokesperson. I'm in New York. I don't know where they're broadcasting the message out of, but it says this number. Now, this reference is strictly domestic interior U.S. territory of North America. I don't know what South America goes off of. I don't know what Central America goes off of. No idea what Europe goes off of. No idea what Asia goes off of. No idea what Africa goes off of. No idea what the North Pole goes off of, and no idea what Antarctica goes off of. But I do know that this reference and these metrics are that work and are things that are spoken of in North America. Now, I mentioned earlier today something that I saw on the television because, again, this is non-familial, but it's teleporting inside of New York. So before there was and she's talking on a North American financial product, by the way, which the metrics by itself for zero class, couch potato, who's the only one that would ever be even listening for something like this, is how much money when you don't really have any money, how much extra money are you getting back? This is not something that like the superstars are concerned with, because I don't even know if they know how to traverse between their lives and at like elitist and down here. But the message earlier was there's a non-for-profit with a first-generation American, supposedly, but I don't know which face of America. Because for me, there's a United States of North America with Black Hills familial placement with green. And then there is Williamsburg in one of the states on the Northeast. Then there's something to do with Jamestown and Yorktown. I know that the three go together for an important whatever. I just don't know what, because I'm off guard at the moment. I don't have the guard that I was built and born for at my side, at your service, and helping me. So this metric is important to some level that really has a hard time communicating importance or scarcity of to other areas. Now, there was a man earlier today that I put on mention, claims that he's American, but he's not familial American. He's non-familial American. And then some heiress, I suppose you could call her that, in some divorce with Bezos, and I don't even know where Bezos is out of. The woman Scotto gave 133 M plus was the metric, which means if life sustaining is 10.5 and the non-familial was expecting 10 to the first power, and instead the pendulum swung past where life-sustaining at 10.5 was and went all the way over to 10.13. That's really dangerous on power shifts, power grabs, and unsuspecting public during a time where one of the planetary importance pieces is being held captive and off guard. I mean, that by itself should be illegal, but here we are. So this metric and this familial non-familial is really a frightening thought for me at the moment, because I know how important it is for non-familial but in a zero class situation, or is being misfed class situation through some form of title that I'm not a part of either, because I don't know how, I'm not part of their conversation. Now, another interesting thing came on, which was something to do with the other day, something called a Brian Flores, who's part of something called an NFL, filed some kind of discrimination suit. And that has its own metric to it. Then today, something filed a sexual harassment lawsuit accusing someone else, which again, I know that it's important in the larger schematic of things. I just don't know what piece goes with what verbiage. And then as part of this it's just a headline, HEADLINE at this point, because I don't know the details. I don't know what was preceding into it as far as arguments. I don't know who was involved. Then there was something about a deflating of footballs. Like, that's confusing. I mean, I could parallel dimension it, especially with the mention of the television lineup from the 1970s-ish, 1980s type rabbit ear stations that they allowed us to watch. But I didn't even get to watch it in like watch for important information. I got to watch it like I heard the song in the background and then the TV went off. So hang on a second. Now, I'm not quite sure what this headline's about. This is the reporter. This is and again, I think his name is Bill. I don't remember what his last name is. This is the channel, and it says something about MLB mediation. And then into that, then goes something about the NFL.
And labor talks hit another roadblock, and that's the reason. The union has rejected the league's request for federal mediation in this case. The owners are making the request yesterday. The players group called the mediation request a publicity stunt.
I don't know.
Day now could be in jeopardy.
I don't know what that means in actuality, in motion terms of humanity, based on the fact that the sundial. I mean, like, myself and this little face right here are on a timing mechanic and a dialogue of ancient Egypt with Horus and the sun gods, which also has a crossover story with a different group. But again, I don't know their words and their sacred things, and I don't want to disparage any of it. So I stay out of that catalog. But I know that traversing zodiac and constellations, there is a timing mechanic and a zodiac and astrological and human contact importance with alien intervention. It's just, I don't know how to speak God to humans that are within this like monster and animal and human paradigm shift when there's really scary alien level polymathematics that need to be tended to. And there's some things in between that may get lost in translation and then misappropriated somehow. I'm not quite sure where I missed the mark or missed the boat on. I have a really unique need for help I just don't know where to ask for it or where to show, like, at your service does this count? I mean, I don't know.
Well, from baseball to football, more legal issues for the NFL. The league says it is reviewing new sexual harassment allegations against Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder. Well, Tiffany Johnson testified before Congress that Snyder put his hand on her inner thigh until she physically removed it. Johnson is one of 6 former employees speaking out on previously surfaced accusations against the team's top executives. The women are urging the NFL to release the results of a 2020 investigation in which it fined Snyder $10 million.
I experienced many work firsts there. First bonus, first promotion, first public humiliation, first sexual assault.
When the investigation of the air pressure of Tom Brady's football concludes with 200 plus pages of a written report, but 2 decades of sexual harassment concludes with nothing, the NFL is showing us their complete lack of respect for women, for their employees, and for the culture of our country.
Snyder released a statement saying he categorically denies the latest allegations. And coming up at 5:30, we speak one-on-one with Mayor Adams as he tries to kickstart his anti-violence push to stop gun violence. Plus, the only all-black...
I'm just curious, was there ever anything brought up about Tom Brady's deflated football scenario and Mayor Adams kicking some kind of field goal scenario in his own whatever around the same time that we've lost sight of constellations completely in the zodiac? And while we're all gathered under the same lack of stars due to light pollution, it may be a time to set certain things aside and perhaps work in some fashion to realign the safety net of whatever constellations in the night sky actually signifies or signals. In fact, I'm going to walk outside if I can within this time frame and see if I can catch a glance at the night sky. Alright, I'm walking out the front door, see what I can find for nighttime stars. What do you... I think there might be part of a weather pattern right now. But it's causing, same time, I know elsewhere, it's causing ice. We actually have it as well. I don't know if you can see the ice on the branches, but normally where I'm pointing is where the only star that I get to see at night is. And again, I know planetary alignment and shift means that there's different sets of constellations, but I haven't had a single set of constellations appear in where I'm being held in fallout shelter and light pollution levels, which I don't know. Again, they don't give instruction at any level in New York City of when constellations disappear in the night sky. And I know that people know about light pollution. I've heard them mention it on one of the media programs before, years before it actually happened. But I don't know what they've set up in actuality because I haven't had anybody come and give me directory or phone number as to where to report such things. But even walking up the steps, based on what's been going on, the breathing, the title, TIDAL, volume, VOLUME. It's laborious. It's, for lack of a better word, trabajo, in like labored breathing, just to catch one's breath, because atmospheric inability to hold one's shoulders back, oneself up straight, and increase the ability, like it's a tear in time and space for sure. And it causes the biomatrices to not function at its peak optimal. But I don't know how to correct it on my own. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxies, Broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.